Hi, you guys. Welcome to your morning message. This message is for February 10th, 2020. These messages are absolutely timeless, though, and they can be watched at any time and still have applicability. It's also for anyone that resonates with them. If you'd like to purchase a personal reading with me, you can find the link to my Etsy page in the box below. And if you'd like to donate to me, thank you in advance, you can find a link to my PayPal link below. All right? So guys, let's jump in. All right. So today's message, based on what I'm seeing, is all about our beautiful ancestral spirit, beautiful guides, just our spirit teams coming in and kind of giving us a little bit of a boost. See, isn't this card just lovely? It's cute. Whenever I see this card, it makes me feel of like this, this very strong, very protective, very shielded, very grounded, like bigger sister kind of energy and bigger ancestral spirit kind of energy. She's just great. And so this energy is coming in today to realign us with our purpose and realign us with our, morale. Not to be confused with morality, okay? But to realign us with our morale, because I feel like a lot of us have been going through a lot. We've come through a very transformative stage. We've had to do a lot of, adulting for ourselves, a lot of growing up, a lot of allowing closed doors to close, all of that good stuff. But along the way, we've also become very disappointed in a lot of the people with whom we've had these lessons, with whom we've shared these lessons. Obviously, this is the King of Cups, and the first thing that we want to think about is a guy, right? Or a love interest or whatnot, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic thing at all. This card is just holding the space to represent the people who have been involved with our transformation. And obviously these are karmics, these are lesson-driven connections. And I feel that a lot of us may have lost our, what can I say? I guess a lot of us may have lost our hope in actually connecting with people who are caring, who are in their integrity, who are normal. I mean, God, what does the word normal mean? Who knows? I don't know if anyone fits the mold for that. But, just normal, like, okay, this doesn't belong to you, so you don't take it. Okay, that's not the truth, so you don't say it. Like, just basic stuff that any kindergartner would learn. It just seems so hard to find people who are on that wavelength and who are, I guess, in a special place of integrity where they don't allow themselves to sink into those kinds of behaviors. And I think a lot of us, as we've gone through these karmic cycles, there may be things that you're like, dude, come on. Who am I dealing with? How am I still dealing with people like this? And as you do deal with people like that, and as you do transcend those kinds of relationships, it can leave a little bit of a bad taste in your mouth, so to speak. And what does that bad taste end up looking like? It ends up looking like things like, I'll never find somebody who's trustworthy. Everybody's a liar. Oh my gosh, I can't tell my secrets to anybody, or I can't rely on anyone, or just things like that. And so our beautiful bison sister here is coming through to say, actually, that's not true. You were just on the wrong freeway. It's like, you can't, of course you can get upset, but you can't make a statement about the general world when you've been down the wrong road. It's like when you start saying things like, oh, all men are dogs, I can't stand them, they're always lying, they just think with their penises, and guys, trust me, the list goes on. Even the birds outside are like, here, right? They're praising. But the point is that Bison Sister is coming here to say, you know what? We hear all of that, and but in some of our birds may have been actually trying to silence us with those kinds of thoughts. Like, don't think that, because you've been dealing with trash. Not calling other people trash, but hello, if the boot fits, lace it up, okay? I'm just saying. So the bird's like, hello. No, but the point is that you can't keep condemning the world when you yourself have been on the path to attract people like that. It's like you keep attracting thieves into your house because, you know, you have some shadow stuff to work through, and so you keep attracting these kinds of people, but then you get mad when they steal. And then on top of that, you're like making a general statement about the whole world, saying, oh my God, everybody's a thief, I can't leave anything around, I can't trust my possessions anywhere because people would just, they would come to take them, and you know, people are the devil, and all of these things. So Bison Sister is saying she understands that, and she understands why we have come to have a sour taste in our mouths regarding people in general. But she's saying, trust that that's because you've been focusing on a certain kind of pattern, a certain paradigm, and once you've shifted out of that, you can then start to attract people who are going to surprise you in lovely ways, right? Because they don't focus on that, they don't move on that kind of patterning. Alrighties, so let's look above here. I feel like today's reading is going to be short, which is awesome. So I'm seeing here that it's almost like way back in time, they're saying. Like maybe before you came in. Like, look at this cute little baby. It's you, viewer. And it's almost like you are this cute little soul being carried out by this cute little grandmother turtle, brought out from heaven, brought across the seas to be incarnated, right? And as you're taking that beautiful sacred last ride from the other side, I'm seeing all of these cute little things coming and flying towards you as you're sleeping and resting. These little dreams are coming in. These are your cords, they're saying. Your cords. Oh, okay. Cords. Okay, because I want to say your charts, your karmic contracts and stuff, but you can think of them as cords, right? You're going to come in with karmic contracts needing to be worked through. But what's a karmic contract, right? It's something that, it's an agreement where you have a cord with somebody and you need to work through it, and that cord will be there until you work through whatever that thing is. And I'm seeing you here receiving these little hookups. Cute. But once you actually get onto the earthly plane, that's when the hard work starts. And they're acknowledging that sometimes it's not easy, because if you'll notice, this person on the right, you are looking at this model on the left. The idea is that's what you wanted to be, like, oh, I've been working so hard, I'm getting all these returns, you know, I'm knocking down these barriers, I'm cooperating with people, I'm getting rid of my cords, I'm healing karmic contracts. But once you're down here, it's like, oh my God. It's hard to do because feelings get involved. Of course, what are these things if not feelings? Misconceptions. People are walking around being conditioned by the world, by the food they eat, by the atmosphere. They are inundated with past life resonances, residue. It just becomes a lot harder to effect the change within your spirit that you wanted to do before you came down. And they're acknowledging that. And they're also acknowledging not only the pain, but the strength that you've had to have. Look at how she looks like she's wearing her wedding dress. It's like being, I guess, married to the contracts that you have to do, but having strength through it. And sometimes it's not easy. It fails even the best of us, right? But what they're coming through to say is they love what we've done. I'm hearing, I love what you've done. Wait, no, I love what you've done with the place. Right? It's kind of like that, because these three cards are coming out together. See how the mirroring is there? You've got these two pillars, something in the middle. You've got these two pillars. You've got these two pillars, right? Something in the middle. What they're trying to say here is that you're working with a lot of your fears and illusions as you try to parse through it, try to make things make sense at the mental level as well, try to deprogram, try to program, all sorts of stuff. Then you've got this dimension or this aspect where you're dealing with people, and they're bringing their stuff, and you're bringing your stuff, and you're trying to wade through, and somehow they're like, you're supposed to make magic out of it and have this Four of Wands, happy communion, happy union, happy structure, happy marriage, happy whatever. And they're saying they understand that is some bullshit sometimes. All right. But another thing that they're showing here, and they're bringing in this card actually. Look at this. And they're saying sometimes things just have to come in break it down, right? Things have to come in to break it down. You think you're set, and the next thing something happens. It's a tower moment. This could also represent you doing your best to create these changes for yourself. And they're saying what happens instead, a lot of what you can seem, what from our level might seem like failure. I wasn't able to make that marriage work. I wasn't able to hold on to the house. I wasn't able to raise my children in a great way. And as I'm saying that, I'm feeling a lot of the sadness coming through. You know, a lot of us are dealing with these perceived failures. And actually, take a look. It's the same person. Look how he's kind of wearing the same clothes. So they're also showcasing this shift in consciousness that you have. You know, one minute you're going in hot and heavy. You're like, yeah, let's do it. And then you're coming back defeated. And they're promising, though, that there's going to be an end to the madness. Look at the World card right after. There's going to be an end to the madness. But you see the red streak in her hair? It's kind of like synonymous with the gray streak. It's like, oh, now my hair is going gray because of the stress. But they're showing it's actually a transformation, and it's a lesson well learned. Let's put these beautiful cards down, and let's look here. Following that streak that they're saying this is what happens to human beings and anybody as we really try to push ourselves to learn. We go in hot and heavy. Look at the plumage and plumage out of his helmet. It's big. It's fuzzy. It's furry. It's great. It's like abundant. It's fiery. It's the Knight of Wands energy. He's rushing in. He's like, I'm going to do this damn thing. Right? And then there comes the rejection and the living the life. And, you know, his armor is gone and he feels dejected. Now he, like, where are his plumes? Where's his plumage? Now it's just a feather in a hat. It's just another divorce. It's just another lying, cheating, you know, banker. It's another shitty ass, like, job I went to, and it's like there's this defeat. There's this defeat that can set in, but they're saying in the end, what you're fighting for is the knowledge that comes with it. You're not fighting to keep a relationship. You're not fighting to keep a husband. You're not fighting to keep a job. You're not fighting to keep a home. You're not fighting to keep a position as a politician. They're saying what you're after. What brought you in here and what you leave with is the experience. And now look at this. As you pass through the final portal back from whence you come, in other words, when you die, God bless, look at what your fiery plumage has gone down to. A feather in a hat has now become wisdom. Look at it in her hair, right? And of course it's painful. This is what life is, they're saying. They're bringing that to our attention. But they're saying on the other side of pain lies love. That's why when people pass through that portal, that death, that place of death, they come straight into love. I'm starting to get the vibe that maybe some of you or somebody here may have lost somebody in their life, and they're showcasing this a little bit, not only for all of us, but to showcase that, show you that once we pass over, we come straight into here. It's all love. And then before we know it, look, we're back to doing our job on the other side. We're harvesting. You can't wait to dive into the stuff you just learned, and then you're learning, and it's all there, right? It's all there, and they love you guys. And yes, they're saying that some people do still cross over with their demons, so to speak, right? Things that they have to work on. But there's still a lot of, so if you're like, well, I lost my uncle or somebody, and this person was not so awesome on earth regardless of what they did. Yes, when they go over though, they still do get lauded for what they have accomplished. And then they, just as everybody else, will come before justice in the way that is best suited for them. And we can't judge because we don't know what their, and even our, original contracts were. We have no idea down here. We don't have a concept of that. Now, of course, you can have readers give you information in bits and pieces as spirit, relays through them, or as they can pick up. However, you won't truly know what it is that you're trying to accomplish until you pass on. You never know that the person who was, for example, the drug-addled uncle who brought ruin to the family fortune or whatnot is actually some major master teacher on the other side who agreed to come down and play that role so that he can single-handedly create a learning environment for so many people within his within his household and within his community. Like, we don't know, especially when you have people writing books about you and things like that. Listen, we can't judge, guys, okay? And newspaper writings about you, and that's all spiritual service. So we really can't judge when we're down here. But what they want us to know is that people are lauded, they're cared for, and they're saying their children are cared for as well when they pass over and they leave their children on this side, here on earth, because they're still alive, or if their children pass on as well, they're cared for. Everybody's cared for. There's never a moment people aren't cared for. And if there's a moment where they're not cared for, it's either highly lesson driven, and it has to be that way, or we're cared for, but we're not seeing how we're cared for. And that's why they say having an attitude of gratitude is what's important, because gratitude is that fast track highway that will take you straight into being able to perceive of where your blessings are. Okay? So I know it's hard to say, but like, there's always something you could be grateful for, even if it's to say, well, at least I have some limbs in my body. Even if it's to say, well, at least someone can see me and think about what not to do, right? There's always some gratitude. And 9 out of 10 times, we think that, our life is shitty, and it really is, God bless. But there's somebody out there, dear God, who we even look at and we're like, damn, like, I could not do that. So we have to understand that there are many layers to this, but they're saying everybody comes before the court of justice. And look at that. Wheel of Fortune, right? It's almost like then there's this other, they're saying panel. There's this other panel that they must come before. But I don't know, maybe a higher council, right? Because look at this. We have this justice unless these two are the same, where you appear before the higher council, or then you go higher, to an even higher council, and you appear. And once you've made that appearance, and they've really, look at all these people with their books. This is conversation they're having with you. Well, yeah, you went in and you said you were going to do this, and you didn't do this. Why do you think you didn't do this? And then they're assessing your answer, and they're pointing things out to you. That's learning. That's integrative learning, they're saying. And look at the card that comes after. They're saying after you have that process, after your loved ones who've passed. I do feel some of you may be dealing with loved ones who've passed, so Spirit is trying to bring this through for some of you, right? But after you've passed, or your loved one has passed, and they go through this process, then you can truly say the transformation has happened. And when this death card is coming out to say that we've case closed a little bit on on this lifetime, like they're still processing things. And look, at the end is always this victory card. Okay, victory card. Yes, I do see. This is what I feel like. This part of this message is for somebody who may have lost people, or may be about to lose people, or just whatnot. Because look, they're saying divine opportunity, and and then this here. So they're trying to pull the veil back a little bit to explain this process for people, so people aren't kind of just stuck in this idea, my loved one is gone and that's it. No, they're at work. They are at work, sir and madam. It's understandable to have the grief and stuff, but remember, this is what lays there on the other side. The minute they pop over, it's right? And they go through a process. They're saying a clearing process, a healing, a clearing process. So they're saying they see it all the time, that the person who's left behind, the people left behind, understandably are the ones who are feeling the pain, and their loved ones have already processed a lot, and now they're back to playing on the beach or whatever they used to do before they came on down to earth. They have fully fledged personalities on the other side, just like we do, and we take on certain personas down here for the sake of our lessons, right? Somebody down here may be a great pianist, right? But on the other side, they're like, dude, I never played the piano. I just did that, from that lifetime. I wanted to try it on, but actually, I don't play music as much. I like to build robots. You know what I mean? So you're like, wait, what? So it's about understanding that our cherished individuals, is what they're saying, are truly fully fledged people on the other side. When they go over, they're not just floating around, hanging out, and living in the shadows of the lifetime they just left. No, they're resuming their lives. Fuller and richer, they're saying, fuller and richer, and getting better by the day. And they're saying some of you even see them even healthier when and younger, sometimes healthier and younger when they come to visit in your dreams. And on the other side, they may not even look like that. They may choose to, that's how they looked in this lifetime, and so they appear to you that way, but really they may look completely a different race. They might be a different species. So they're trying to say that it's not that they move on and forget about us. It's never going to be that. But they're trying to release you from the idea that your loved ones are in pain. Does that make sense? Because they're not in pain on the other side. And if you even have an inkling that they're in pain and all that, you just pray. You call your angels and guides in, and trust me, they're on it. Like, these guys do not fool around. They're not. They just aren't. And they're including pets as well. They just showed me these 2 cute little doggies. Pets, yeah, they're like even your pet crab and lobster, yeah. Yeah, they're enjoying. They're saying heaven is for enjoyment. It's for learning, continual learning. And they're just, and for relaxing and joy, and you are a part of that, and their joy becomes even fuller when you are in joy. When your joy is there, their joy is even better. It's even more magnified. And they're saying, get this, when you're in joy, they're able to come through and connect with you even better. Like, you're able to perceive of them because you don't have this heavy mist of grief around you. And they're emphasizing mist, MISSED, right? And so they understand that takes time, because that's what grief is about. But they're like, we just wanted to show you what we're doing on the other side. What are you doing? It's a little bit of a sense of humor they're coming through with. I'm feeling like a younger woman here, maybe 16 to 23, actually. She feels very young, but could be as old as 23. And she's like, what are you doing? This is what I'm doing. What are you doing? It's a very playful way. So please trust me when they say, yeah, it's not me, when they say the grief is all on this side in the physical, because it doesn't exist where they are. And if there's any form of grief, it's going to be worry over your condition and you feeling a certain way. And so the quicker that you can see them as these fully actualized beings, whether there were miscarriages, abortions, whatever, death, the child, doesn't matter how young, doesn't matter what condition the person is when they left, they were fully realized beings, and they just always are. And the part of them that chose to come down here was just such a small part. And that's why when readers like me, when we do mediumship and we do readings, even if the person's still alive, I can still pick up on their higher self, because that's their real self on the other side. They didn't go anywhere. In fact, they're here more than the physical person is here, if you can believe it. Like, you can say, yes, I'm in this room and here's another human being sitting next to me, but what's more with you? Is it what's closer to you, the human being or the oxygen? Do you know what I mean? And they've returned to just straight up energy, and their energy is expansive. If they wanted to, they can become everything in the room for you, the chair, the table, whereas the person sitting in the same room with you in a flesh suit, so to speak, a human being is incarnated being in a body. That's what body. In a body, they, wherever they are is where they are, and that's all there is to it, right? And so they're trying to give you a little bit of a window there. Okay. Now, pulling back out. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Amen. They're showing themselves heading back. Thanks, guys. Oh, they're so sweet. They're showing ribbons. They're showing ribbons tied, like little red ribbons. So some of you may have tied ribbons. Ribbons may feature for you. They could be showing the ribbon is not going to be loosed until you get to the other side and we're all together again. So there's no separation, right? Some of you also may have had to bury a child or whatnot, and they're giving you an image of when you had to tie ribbons in their hair, or whether it's shoelaces or just, on ice skates or hockey skates or just whatever. They're just bringing that through, but really they're really showcasing this idea that there's no separation. And you can imagine that you have a ribbon tied to them, and if you need it, you just give a ding ding, a little tug, and they're there, like immediately, right? So that's to help you know that you have a fast track, like, connection. All right, so thank you. Now, yeah, looking back at what they were saying a little bit earlier, they were also acknowledging you guys here in this day and age, because you may have been feeling really these days feeling really let down by people in general, but they're showing they love how you've transformed, you've moved from these fears, you've come together to work, and look how you're moving from this fear-based place. And now we've got the Lovers card with partnership, exchange, and look at the sunlight behind. And what does that turn into? Four of what do we call it? Four of Wands. This is like, yeah, karmic contract completed. Of course, the karmic contract being completed may look to us like a divorce. It may look to us like a death. It may look to us like, okay, well, these people were just here to build a house and now they're gone and I may never see them again, even though we had this big party, right? You know, it looks like an ending. And so, but they're saying that they're choosing to show that as the Four of Wands, as a job well done. Now, this card, the final card here, well, maybe the final card is my favorite card in this deck, in this group of cards here, Divine Animals Oracle. It's the dog card, the companion card, and I love it because it looks like a silent assassin. That's cool. There's this archer here waiting above to just shoot if they need to, and I love the bow and arrow. It would be my weapon of choice, and the crossbow because it's badass. Anyway, but that being said, they're showing here that as you come to the end of your karmic cycle and with people and stuff, they're protecting you. They're protecting you as you finish that thing. So what that looks like is a lot of people may be trying to obstruct your process. They might be trying to obstruct your highest good. And look at them from right here, just shooting some fools, so to speak. I'm sorry. I love that card so much. They're knocking people down. They're not going to allow it. But the other more important message, not more important, but it's kind of important that I want to bring through, is what they're saying is when you look at this as a portal to the other side, as like once you pass over. I'm getting that some of you, or at least somebody here on this call, may be entertaining suicidal thoughts because they've lost somebody. And look at them. They're here like, don't even cross that. Don't cross that barrier. Because they're giving it's a little bit of a playful message, but it's not. They're like, this is not the place for you. You're not supposed to come over here, right? Just because somebody died doesn't mean you have to follow them. And it seems like a little bit of a callous statement to say when somebody is in grief, but they're like, we'll risk it because you don't do that. They're saying, no, you have your contracts, you have people you're supposed to meet, you have a job you're supposed to continue to do, and your person who's just passed over or has passed over, look, they just showed what they're doing. They're already, look at all these cards that I just had to go through. They're doing their process. So the last thing you want is to try to follow your loved one into the beyond by taking your own life. And then the minute you open your eyes you close your eyes for the last time and you open your eyes for the first time on the other side, it's like, shit. You know, because it all comes flooding back to you. It's like, oh my God, that was, I shouldn't. You know, it's kind of like this idea. And it's not to pass judgment to those who we know who have committed suicide or who have done that. It's not about that. And it's not to create judgment for them. This is spirit coming through to stop future people from doing that. Because what happens is when you do pass over, you still have to go through this. And you are going to sit with the council and they're going to talk to you about it. And meanwhile, you're going to have this recall. You'll have this full recall of, oh man, my name's actually David. And you're right, I did agree with everybody to do this. And I went under. And in this lifetime, my name was Rebecca. And I totally forgot about all this stuff, guys. But the minute that you open your eyes later, you realize, oh boy, hey, my spirit guides, I remember all of you. And I remember, so it's like you don't want to be kicking yourself. And it's not to say that life down here is not hard and that we don't understand, because trust me, we understand. They understand. And listen, me too, guys, because like I'm just gonna interject here because, you know, I am channeling. I'm gonna interject here and say, like, this is not like suicide is never the right answer. It never is. But I also understand personally that when people get cheated on and it's just that hard. I'm sorry. I understand when I hear certain things about people hurting themselves and whatnot in response. It's not the right way to go, but I understand the gravity of the emotions that come with that. And like, if you've never had that experience of being cheated on or just betrayed like that, you will just, it's a different kind of experience, and it's understandable why people on earth come to want to exit their contracts for many, many different reasons. But Spirit is coming through to say that's not the way. And at the end of the day, you don't want to be the one, all your friends are out there playing, and during summer they're going to this place and Universal Studios and doing all that, and you are stuck in school for the summer because you still have to make up lessons that you did not do in your last incarnation. Do you get what I'm saying? And so the only person that would be kicking themselves would be you on some level. Spirit's not going to kick you. They're not. But they know how hard you would be kicking yourself. And so if somebody here is thinking about that, which is what I think Spirit is trying to get to today, then this message is for you. And they're like, don't do it. And they're like standing here like, don't even think about it. Because then you try to come over here, we're going to get you. And so, anyway, so there is always another way, they're saying. And they understand that when we are in deep grief about anything, it doesn't have to be about a lost loved one. It's about a loss in general, because that's what grief is. That it can be hard for us to get out of that mental state. But look at our ancestors and look at our spirit guides coming through in this beautiful card. And they're acknowledging the pain that you feel. But look at what they're also bringing. They're like, hi. And they're bringing this healing for you. They're bringing this healing for you, to lay it on you and to hold you. And they're also saying that if you're on here, you can pray for people who are going through this as well, guys. I'm also seeing that somebody here may be an aunt with a nephew or niece going through these kinds of feelings, right? They're saying, give it up to God, pray, keep sending the light, because the light really does help. It penetrates a lot of the stress that's going on, right? Look at this. Your light, imagine this as this huge bird, this huge amount of grief and what can lead to somebody wanting to kill themselves, wanting to come in and overtake this person. But look at the light that comes between. Even as the person reaches to kind of give in to that grief, look at the light that comes between. It's completely holding off all of that stuff. And they're saying sometimes all we need is for you to hold the space for this person to get better. Not to tell them what to do, not to this and that. Just hold the space for them to get better. Because as you hold the space and you keep them in the light and you visualize them, healing and whatnot, you create an opening in the energetic field for people to come in, for your loved one here in for your loved one here in the physical to have experiences where they end up sitting on the bus, for example, and they sit next to somebody and that person talks to them. It gives them a perspective change, right? You're creating the conditions for that because you're bringing in a lot of light. 33 minutes, 11 seconds. Get it, God. So, anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this, but they're saying they're bringing through this, let's put this in a light. They're bringing through this message because they see that somebody here, at least one of you, has been praying about what to do. And this card says strategy. This is them impressing themselves upon you so that you can get the message. And the reason why is because they see everything. This is the earth. They're looking at us. And they understand the gravity of everything going on here, even if we don't. And remember, our bison sister spirit is like, stay focused and have an attitude of gratitude. Even if you can't find something, you can find something to be grateful for, even if it's just one thing. And she's reminding you to stay strong, okay? All right, guys. Thank you so much to all of our spirit friends and family for coming through. And thank you guys for listening today. And I hope that things are better. Of course, you can always reach out and email me. God bless. Anyway, guys, have a blessed day. Mwah. Bye.